Hello everyone, it's me Nisal Redmi. Today I'm gonna explain you about ER diagram and normalization, which is based on the case study given in my assignment. So the report is based on the case study that is done for a company called National Strata. National Strata is a company that provides services such as cleaning, maintaining electrical, gardening, maintaining services for the properties. So the case study is divided into two parts, where part A is about creating ER diagram, where part B is about maintaining like creating normalization. So talking about ER diagram is a flow chart that demonstrate relationship between entities within a system. So which means it shows relationship between two entities within a system, how one entity is associated with another entity in the same system. Like it cannot show relationship between one system to another system. So the entities and the relationship has to be within a system. So talking about normalization sounds heavy, like the words itself sound heavy, but it's just process of organizing data in database. So talking about the case study, like we were a group of four where we had mm, to identify entities, relationship, participation, and cardinality between the entities and attribute. So finding entities and attribute was easy, but we there was a time like we found difficulties when assigning the relationship between the entities. It was really complicated because like every entity has to be associated with like some entity, at least one. Like we cannot just create entity and like just leave entity without showing relationship. So an entity must have relationship with another entity. For the notation in our diagram, we use crow's-foot notation, which is a standard symbol to show the relationship. And while creating AR diagram, we found some many-to-many relationship. So in case of many-to-many relationship, we have to create an associative entity. Associative entity. It is an entity that is created to show relationship between two many-to-many relationship, as we cannot directly associate many to many. Like we can associate too many to many, but like when it comes to third one, suppose there is A, B, and C, we cannot associate many to many between A, B, and C. If there is like associative, if there is many to many relationship between three of them, we have to create an associative entity to create relationship between them. After creating relationship, we had to assign primary key. So basically primary key is something which is unique, like something which is different from any or on any other attribute, like such as id. Like id can only be one, like id can only an id per person can only be one. Like two different people cannot have same id. So primary key is something that is like unique, that can separate the attributes from other systems here. For most of our entity, we use id as a primary key, as it is unique and like the most common primary key that has been used yet. So to establish relationship between some entity, we made assumption which is clearly mentioned in the assignment. For the second part, which is normalization, we made a list of dependency in a separate dependency diagram. In After creating dependency diagram, we had to create one and F, B, C, and F relationship tables. Yeah. So to create any of these tables, we have to state, and we have to make a list that what rules are we using to create these tables. So while creating this table, we have clearly mentioned the rules we are using to create these tables. We have created different rules for 2f, 3f, 4f, 1f, b, c and f. So for every table we have created a separate set of rules, which is standard rules, so we can make the table according to the rules. So this is all about ER diagram and normalization. This is just a basic about ER and normalization.